So hey guys, welcome to the first video of the channel. Today I'm just pretty much going to be giving you some tips and pointers on Rocket League, mostly for beginners though, so if you're not a beginner, please just skip to the next video. Hopefully by that time I would have released a new video, but this is mostly just for starters. So basically I'm just going to be giving out settings in this video, so you don't have to be on default settings. You can adjust them to your liking. I will be giving out some tips and pointers and some to-dos and not to-dos. Okay, I guess to-dos count as a pointer. But not to-dos and pointers. Let's keep it at that. And then I will be teaching you how to half flip, which could help a lot in bronze, because I know a lot of people can't turn around fast in bronze and they end up just trying to backflip. And I will also be teaching you the basics of aerials. I mean, it's pretty basic. I'm just going to give you some tips on this also. The same I will do with other mechanics. I will just give tips on how to do some other mechanics also in later videos. So I guess we will start off with tips, and we'll start off with tips. So my first tip when you start Rocket League is change your settings. Please don't play on default settings, for if you do get used to them, it will be a doozy to like hop off them. I know right now I'm struggling because I changed the binding and it's taken me ages to get used to it. So please do not start on default settings. Those will mess you up considerably. Next up, do not ball chase because you don't know how to play the game. It's better that you learn how to rotate and you learn how to give your teammates space. As if you were playing a regular sport, you wouldn't be up in your teammates' faces. Just so you don't put yourself in a bad position and so you don't put your teammates in a bad position. Third off, don't fall for any scams on Rocket League. There is a website called rlinsider.gg, I think it is. They do have Rocket League prices, so if you get anything that you think is good, go check there. Don't let yourself get scammed, because the amount of scammers on this game is incredible. They do not care whether you're new to the game or not. They will take everything in your inventory without fail. Next, I would want to say stay in training a lot, especially free play. And when you're in free play, feel free to turn off the unlimited boost. The unlimited boost is right here in your options. You just have to select it and it will turn off. So I will suggest also turning that off once in a while, just so you can get a feel for what it would be like in actual game. So like if you're learning a mechanic, then you turn it off, try it without the unlimited boost. And then, you know, the unlimited boost kind of just gives you the basics for the mechanic, because you won't have unlimited boost in a real game. You will only have 100 for full boost anyway. Next, I would say learn how to pick up these pads right here, these tiny ones. These are very helpful when it comes to the actual game. If you're in a defensive position, for example, and you're not given the space to grab boost, these pads are probably only help because you have 3 right around the goal. I think there's 3, there's 1 to the right, there's 1 in the middle, and then there's 1 right here. And these probably will be your only sources of boost throughout that defensive push. So you would want to be able to grab pads. That will probably boost you up a few ranks also, because once you get into plat, I think the biggest problem with plats is that they do like to go for boost a lot. They do take boost over ball a lot. It is very, very annoying for themselves and for their teammates also, because they could easily just leave the goal open and go for boost, and it is a very annoying thing to deal with. Do I have any more tips to give? Just spend a lot of time in training. Don't just hop into matches because, you know, you want to. It's not another game or a very basic game like Call of Duty where it's just shooting people and you just have to practice on aim. Rocket League is a game where you will have to put time into training. You will have to grind out the game, and you will have to practice things, unlike other games. Maybe Tony Hawk's you do have to practice, I guess, in a way. But Rocket League, you do need a lot of practice. So next I'm gonna move to the don'ts. Please, I beg of you on everything that is a don't. Don't ball chase. Don't just chase after the ball. One, people will be toxic to you for it. Rocket League has a very toxic community. Two, you could easily hit your teammate. You could mess them up thinking that you're gonna go for the ball, but you don't go for it if you're just ball chasing the whole time. It could mess you and your teammate up, and it could put you in a bad position. So you don't want to do that. You want to either be waiting for a pass, or you want to be in a defensive position. So that's like around here. Maybe you're in the goal. You could be around midfield, or you could just be a little behind it, or you could be on the opposite side of your teammate waiting for a pass. Next up, don't use any funky looking cars until you're good with one. There are set cars that people use. People use the Dominus, the Octane, and the Fennec, or the Breakout. Breakout is more of a freestyle car though. So if you do want to go into freestyling, please be my guest and use the Breakout. I'm not saying you can't use it to play, but most people use it to freestyle. But the Breakout is a good car. So these are the 4 main cars that most people use. People do use DLC cars like the Batmobile and the Skyline, but those aren't available anymore, so unlucky you. But I would suggest one of these 4 cars if you're more of a flat person. If you like more flat cars, you like your flicks, the Dominus is definitely for you. But the Octane does have some of the best control in the game, seeing as it is the car that they test most of the things on, so I would suggest the Octane as a starter. So Octane, Dominus, I would suggest those as a starter. I'm using the Fennec right now. I don't know, I just haven't been able to stop using it, but the Fennec, you have to actually trade it or get it out of a drop, so you might not get this right away. You might have to buy credits, and then you would have to trade it with someone, and you can't trade until you buy at least 500 credits. Now, if you got the game for free, that is. If you bought the game, then you should be perfectly fine. You can trade it. I think the Fennec's worth about 600 credits, so it shouldn't be too much. Next, for don'ts. Do not, and I repeat, please, you don't listen to me on this one, but don't waste your rank multiplier, because if you've just started the game, you get a little multiplier at the beginning of the game where your rank basically gets boosted for all your placements. And that, if you win all those matches, you could get up to at least Diamond 3 with the multiplier, the highest, I think. And then if you keep winning, you will get up to champ. But I'm not saying don't play until you're diamond. Nah, I'm just saying don't play when you're bronze. So get up to silver, gold maybe, and then start playing competitive. I don't think you can play competitive till you're level 10 anyways now. But don't play competitive till you're silver or gold. Because there's no really point of playing in a bronze rank. It's really not helpful unless you want the rewards. Then if you can get the rewards from extra modes, so you don't really need to play competitive. You can play Rumble. Rumble is actually easier to get ranks in because not a lot of people play it, so you will be a higher rank in extra modes than you will be in your regular mode. So let's say I'm champ 3 in regular competitive, I could easily be grand champ in Rumble. That's how easy it is to rank up in Rumble. Or Drop Shot's a little bit harder, so is Hoops, but Snow Day, I think it's easy as long as you have a good team. Rocket League is based along teammates a lot. People you can trust, people you can count on to actually hit the ball when it counts. So I think that's going to do it for the tips and the don'ts. I will have more, but those are for specific mechanics, so there's really no point in telling you those now. So I think I'm going to first show you the half flip since I'm already in free play training. So to do a half flip, all you have to do is basically flip cancel. So a flip cancel is, let's say I flip forward and then I flip back right away, that cancels my flip, or I flip backwards, flip forward, that cancels my flip. I don't think I did that one properly, did I? But it cancels your flip basically, but that's not a half flip. A half flip is, I just did it for a second, but a half flip turns you around almost immediately. So what you would do is you would flick diagonally backwards just like this. It could be in any direction, it could be right, left, it just depends on where you are, to be honest. So you'd be flicking diagonally backwards and then you push up on your joystick and it should just turn you around. You might have to adjust using boost, but it should just flick you right around. and you should just be able to turn right around. Compared to doing a 360, compared to jumping and turning, whatever way you might have of turning around, it's just faster, it consumes less boost, and it's just more time supportive, I guess. I don't know what the word is. It decreases the amount of time it would take to turn around, especially in defense. You might 100% need it in defense. I don't know how many saves I've gotten just because I've used the half flip to get to it because it was behind me. But I hope that was enough. I will repeat the half flip again just to show you. So it's just diagonal backward, then you push up on your joystick. You don't have to use boost, by the way. You don't have to. You can do it without boost. But I'm just adding boost to increase the speed. That's like I'm chasing someone behind me, so I'm just adding boost so I can catch up to them faster, if that makes sense. So I taught you how to do the half flip. So before we go into aerials, I will show you. I think I already showed you settings. So I will go on to aerials now. I almost showed you settings twice there for a second. So I will go on to aerials now. Okay, these are the options you're supposed to use. Sensitivity, you keep it at 10. Sorry, no, don't keep your sensitivity at 10. Let's go to camera first. Field of view, you always want to keep it at 110. That's what I was going to say. And then your camera shake, you always want it off. I think this is default on. But your distance, your height, and angle is what matters the most when it comes to your camera settings. The stiffness, the swivel speed, the transition speed, you can kind of just copy mine and just keep them that way. But these are what matter the most. You can copy mine and then adjust it if you like my settings. But you will see how close up and awkward the default settings are. No offense to Psyonix. So please, change them. They will help you out a lot also. Then when it comes to sensitivity and Z zone, you will want your sensitivity all the way down. You can copy mine, but I'm not gonna judge. You can have them up like mine are, but I wouldn't suggest it. I'm just a weird one. So I would suggest putting your sensitivity all the way down to 1, I think it is. And then your dead zones, you can reduce them the more you get comfortable with them. So just reduce them till you're comfortable. Your controller vibration, you also want this, off or the lowest possible. So you really don't want this on from what I've told anyways. I heard it's very distracting. I have mine off ever since I was told that, and it's just helped a lot. Then power slide is gonna be default X. You want this L1, L2, one of the two, or LB and RB, depending on what console you're on. And then your air roll is also going to be default X. You can keep this on X and make one of these ones, arrow right or arrow left. You can make one of these ones, LB or RB, L1, R1. It's to your choice, depending on which one you like better. But I have my arrow left bound to X because of a specific mechanic. And I think your scoreboard's gonna be LB. So if you do decide to put on LB, you would want to change that to RB just so you can look at the scoreboard. So those are pretty much it for settings. I will give you some aerial tips now. When it comes to aerialing, it's nothing too big. It's just a matter of putting in the practice of being able to control your car in the air and hit the ball. So it's just putting in the time. But when it comes to aerialing, the biggest thing is the speed at which you get to the ball, whether you can predict the ball's movements, and just how hard you can hit the ball. The best place you can hit the ball with to get the most power is the nose of your car. I will repeat, it is the nose of your car. That is where you will get the most power from, whether it's from a flick, whether you just pinch it. It is always going to be from the nose of your car where you get the most power. So aerialing is pretty basic. I will show you how to do it. It's just basic. All you have to do is just jump, you aim your car up, and you just boost. It's very basic, nothing too difficult. But the way I did it was a slower version. I pressed A first and then I boosted. And I only jumped once, if you realize that. But you will have, if you jump once, you will have a flick. So you will have a flick up to a certain point. Not up to a certain point, but there's a timer on your flick and it does run out after a few seconds. I think it's 5 or 4 seconds. So you'd want to get good at timing it and being able to use it as quick as possible. Then there is the second one where you do double jump and go for aerial, which gets you there faster. And if you saw right there, I did press my boost and my jump at the same time. This is because pressing these at the same time will get you up in the air faster than most people, but once you get up to a certain rank, people will be doing the same thing also. So it's just a matter of who can read the ball faster at that point, not who can get up to the ball faster. So I think that's going to conclude it for aerials. I really don't have anything else to say, but I will suggest practicing them. And the default training packs are probably the best for noobs, or for newbies. So you would want to practice your aerials in here. Start from rookie, head to all-star. Same with goalie, striker. These will teach you your fundamentals, and I will highly suggest practicing them here. So that's gonna do it for the video. Peace, like, subscribe, and peace.